Yeah, hello everyone. So I'm Sujit Patel from Invent Model Technology Solution, and we have Aditi. She's also a part of Invent Model Technology Solution, and she's a part of training and development team. So I am a trainer who was conducting the training for Informatica Cloud SaaS, Informatica CDQ, Informatica MDM on-premises and all. And together with me, we have more than 50 trainers who are already running the different live sessions. And we are trying to onboard, I think, 200, 300 more trainers for the different tools and technology. So our journey is still continue, and as part of this journey, we are going to welcome and onboard our PIM trainer. So who will help us about the entire PM training roadmap, course contents, and also one topics explanation. So we will try to understand all the frequently asked questions or what the questions we usually do have in the mind before enrollment of any courses. So we'll try to answer all those questions so that after this demo session, you will be in the situation to conclude that you should go for this demo or not. Yeah. So we'll try to cover all those things. So before that, let me take few minutes to introduce about our services, company services and all, and then we can pass this to our trainer. So let me share my screen. Yeah. So we are a 10-year-old IT service company empowering your IT journey. And we are trusted by multiple clients globally. And we have a strong technical and delivery team. If you talk about our core services, so we do have end-to-end IT project implementation, resource hiring and outsourcing, and individual and corporate training. So if you have any resourcing requirement in your project or for your client, we can onboard the resources through C2H. Most of the resources are available with us on the bench, who are immediately available. And in some cases, if you need corporate training or individual training also, so we do have all the setup for that. Yeah. IT project implementation. So we do have a complete technical team who take care of all the IT project implementation from requirement analysis, design and development, testing, deployment, and production go live support as well. So we do take care into all the part of IT project implementation. Resource hiring and outsourcing. So we do have a strong bench resources with us who are immediately available to join for your projects and all. They are also open for travel to on-site or offshore as per your requirement. And we do have all the kind of premium tools and technology which is needed in the data domain mostly. Most of the resources are immediately available, flexible engagement models we do have. And if you talk about global delivery support, so resources available across all the time zones. All time zones means our resources are available in most of the countries like USA, Germany, Europe, Gulf side, and India. So if you want resources in person, they can means join over there and they can work. And if you want remotely, they can work remotely as well. Yeah. So our model is very cost effective. Training services, if you talk about, so we do have individual batches for the individual person. But if some corporate is looking for training for their some group of consultants, so we also manage that corporate training also. We take care of all the premium tools and technology. It will be instructor-led live sessions, and also in some cases it will be in-person or classroom training also in case of corporates and all. So our trainer community, if you talk, we have 500 plus certified trainers. They are real project. Actually, they bring real project experience, and they are the industry experts. Most of them are working as a solution architect or solution consultant. Training approach, if we talk about, so we believe in practical learning, real-time project scenarios, hands-on demonstration, and job-oriented skills. Most of our training is job-oriented and project-oriented. Why invent model? So since we bring 10 year of IT proven experiences, we do have a quick response deployment team. We have a project-based training, and it is a reliable and a scalable training partner. We can collaborate with you. So this is all about us on high level, about our product and services. So basically, we are in three domain, one in project and one in the IT resource hiring and deployment, and third is in the training, like in corporate training and individual training. So this is all about us on high level. Now I would like to pass our call to our PIM trainer expert, and he will help us to introduce himself. He will help to give the course content details, and he will also help us to understand one topic. Yeah, so let's pass to him and let's hear from him. Yeah, so you can start now.
Thank you, Sujit. Hi, everyone. I am a senior Informatica P360 specialist with 15 plus years of industry experience. I have worked in multiple MNCs, including Deloitte, Accenture, and all. And I have worked in multiple projects, which is like gold or silver projects for the MNCs like Coca-Cola, Citibank, and all. Okay, so majorly I have Informatica P360 experience, but I have also worked on Informatica MDM or like other helper tools which is needed in order to implement a MDM project like Informatica MDM, Informatica Data Quality, for business process management, Informatica Active Force, and also I have my experience on Informatica product SaaS, which is the IDMC platform. Now, coming to the training part, I used my the industry experience to train numerous juniors and the freshers into MDM technology. Basically, like the MDM and the data technology is right now booming with the help of the AI and other machine learning algorithms and all. So right now there is a huge market demand for Informatica and other MDM tools. So I would like to use my huge experience, industry experience to train and groom juniors into MDM technologies, and they are right now placed in multiple across multiple MNCs into very highly appreciated roles in MDM roles. So, coming to the topics that I'll be discussing, I'll quickly share my screen in order to give you a glance of all the topics that would be discussed in this training program. So, I'll share my screen. Uh, Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay. So yeah, you can find it in the Invent Model site. All the trainings and the training objectives. I'm not elaborating the training objectives. You all know like what actually you will be achieving by doing the trainings on Informatica P360. I'll straight jump into the topics. So first of all, I'll go through the PIM introduction and overview and a little bit of MDM concepts. We all know like it's important to know why to use PIM and when to use PIM before jumping straight into the tool, right? So I'll be explaining MDM concepts and where the Informatica PIM will fit in and the overview. That means uh, uh, what are the other things that you'll need and other prerequisites that you'll need to get into this training session. Then the most important thing and the very basic thing which you need to learn in order in as a part of this Informatica PIM training is data model. So we know that data model is the key of every MDM tool, be it Informatica PM, MDM, or any other vendor. So the data model and the repository. So repository concept is little bit exclusive to Informatica PM. We don't find it in the traditional multi-domain MDM, but it's very easy to learn. I will be explaining in very simple language what is a repository, how it is fitting, and how it is linked to the data modeling, and how to customize it, how to create new data model, and all those things. So I'll be giving you a glimpse of the data model in a very short discussion. I'll be explaining what is data model and repository in after I complete all this topics to be covered. Okay. So after that, the perspective and views. So it's a part of the Informatica Product 360 desktop client, and mainly where the developer will go in and developer will configure all their uh, components into the Informatica P360. So for them and for them, the perspective is an important topic. And for the views, the sometimes the customer will also use desktop client and rich client, and for them we need to have a knowledge on the views, how to set up views, how to open views, and how to configure the views. After that, we will come to a very important part, which is supplier and master catalog. So for those who are pretty much familiar with Informatica MDM, they know that there is a concept of staging, loading area, staging area, and then the BO, right, which is the golden copy area. Similarly, in Informatica P360, there is a concept of catalogs, supplier and master catalogs. So I'll be explaining all about this catalogs. Then we'll be coming to a very unique and very important, the most important part I would say in while handling product data, which is structure and structure hierarchy, which is needed in all the product 360 or product information management project to categorize the items or categorize the product into different hierarchy. Then comes the attribute inheritance, which means like to assign the attributes to a proper category of the items, and the dynamic enumerations. Dynamic enumerations is basically the reference data. I'll be explaining it. After that, we will be coming to the imports. That means the inbound integration from different upstream system, how to load data and all. Data quality, P360 will have inbuilt integrated data quality engine. I'll be explaining that. Workflows and tasks, how to configure workflows, out of the box workflows, how to define custom workflows. I'll be touching up on that also. Assortments and process overview again. This is a process of categorizing items and product. I'll be explaining that. User groups is very part of security and governance and access control. Exports, the outbound integration part, how to send data from P360 to a different downstream system. Data model customization is a part of customization, so I added it a little later. So if you know data model, the customizations of the data model will follow it. There's no problem understanding about it. Then UI addition and enhancement. So when you add a new data model, you definitely need to customize or add that particular part of your data model to your UI in order to view it. So how to do it, I'll be explaining that. And then three things which is part of customization. Customization means that is not an out of the box part of Informatica P360, generally not out of the box part, but you have to have some knowledge on SDK or little bit of Java in order to configure it. Which is first thing is integration with other modules. That means if you have a requirement of custom integration or custom job, uh, requirement of writing a custom job, or command framework, that means trigger based event. That means you like update something, and based on that you want to do some other work. And REST APIs, call REST API in a job. Okay, so these three things I'll be helping you to understand as part of this training process, and which will be very key to your success and key to your understanding to the customization, the SDK customization of P360. So I think these are the things that in the overview, PIM introduction and overview, I'll be explaining. You can see like in the overview, I'll be explaining about your architecture of the P360, how the components, how the core components of P360 will work. And as I mentioned, right, why PIM and when to use PIM, and if you don't use a P360 in your project, in your data flow, what all the challenges that you might face. So what are the benefits that P360, Informatica P360 will bring to your project? So that those all things I'll be explaining in the introduction session. Then, as I said, the data model and repository sessions, I'll be explaining what are the concepts of the repository, entity types in the repository. There are concept of entities, sub entities, logical keys, qualifiers, and all those things. So I'll be explaining how to configure that, uh, how to configure attributes, how to configure versioning and localization. Localization as in like the local attributes and global attributes. There are two type of attributes are there in the P360 system, which is global and local attributes. So how to use the localization, I'll explain that. And then hands-on. So I'll be showing you how to add, and maybe I'll be letting you to add a data field, or maybe I'll letting you to add one data model element into the repository as part of the hands-on. Now, perspective views in the as I said, right, what are the difference between perspective and the views? So perspective is used by the developers mainly. The views are used by the customers. So I'll be explaining and showing you the differences of it, how to switch perspective or between perspectives, how to configure it, how to give access to different perspective and views. So that's something that I'll be showing you as a part of hands-on process, and also I'll be letting you to do that. Supplier and master catalogs. As I mentioned that in the P360 system, similar to master, not exactly the same, but similar to the master data management, multi-domain master data management is a concept of catalogs. Okay, so the catalog which comes before the mastering, it calls supplier catalog. Generally, all the suppliers will upload data to the supplier catalogs, and then we will move the data to the master copy, the master catalog, and which we'll call the master copy. So I'll be showing you what is the difference between supplier and master catalog, and how to merge the data from supplier and master. So those will be the part of the session where I'll be explaining supplier and master catalog. Then I said like the key, there's a key component of P360 to handle product data. There are two things. One is structure and structure hierarchy, and another is attribute inheritance, right? The structure tells about how to assign product and item to a specific category. That means if the product is an electronic, is a mobile phone, how to deal with it. If the product is a clothing product, how to deal with it. Let's say you are keeping both the items into a same system. You have to categorize it properly so that the target audience or the target customer will understand that these two items are different, and these two items will have different set of values. So there comes the structure and the importance of structure and the hierarchy. Okay, and then the attributes. So when two different items are tagged to two different structure node, okay, then the attributes also will be different, right? The attribute set will be different. So how to do that, how to do a different attribution, how to inherit attribute from upper node to a lower node, I'll be showing you all those things as part of this attribute inheritance. Next up, the dynamic enumeration, which is basically the reference data or the lookup data. That means if you have a set of data, set of values predefined to a particular data element or field, how to link that, how to add, how to delete, how to manage that, I'll be showing you as part of the demo session of dynamic enumeration. Next up, the imports, as I said, like the import framework, how to create a mapping, how to uh, schedule automated import job, uh, how to validate the mapping, how to validate the logs if they're in case of any error, how to resolve it. I'll be showing all those things. Data quality, uh, as I said, Informatica P360 has inbuilt data quality engine, and how to create data quality rule, and how to use that rule in our data management, and how to use or how to see the data quality success or failure message, and based on that what we can do. All those things I will be showing as part of data quality session. Next up, the workflows and tasks. So this is a thing which will need a little bit of. There are two things. One is the out of the box task. So PIM has its out of the box task settings. Also, you can use Informatica ActiveVOS, which is a different tool, business process management tool, in order to create workflows or govern the workflows or the item or product lifecycle into P360. I'll be discussing all those things. Assortment and process overview is basically the concept of assortment, how you can group items and products into different assortments, how the assortments are used at the time of the export. That means you can send different group of products into different downstream channels. Let's say you'll be sending data to e-commerce channel one, that means Flipkart, and you want to send a different set of products to different e-com channel, means Amazon. So how to do that, I'll be explaining you. Next is a very important thing, which is the access control, and for that you need to understand how the users and user groups work in P360, how to set up user group, how to assign roles, how to create users, and how to assign users to that particular user group. Uh, and yeah, so access control is a very important thing in any tool, any MDM tool, and specifically in the P361. Exports. Next up, we will learn how to send data, how to publish data into different downstream channel. For that, you definitely need to understand the export framework, how to create export templates. uh, there are a lot of areas to understand here, like how to create a XML, how to create a JSON, how to create CSV, Excel, how to add different data types, data model. That means the header level data, the child level data, how to publish all that using the export format templates. We'll be explaining that, and also export scheduling, how to create export scheduling for the automated exports. We'll be explaining all those as part of this publishing session. Now, the data model customization, as I already explained, that how to customize the existing repository. So as part of your package, you'll be getting the repository, one out of the box repository. So if you need to create any other field, any other data element, you need to customize your data model. So that is the part that I'll be explaining. Possibly it will be already covered as part of this data modeling, the first day, the first topic or the second topic, I think, data modeling. But again, if there is any advanced customization that we will need to do, we will I mean take it in this particular session. So UI addition, how to create a new field, how to add a new field into the web UI, or maybe in the views, website views. Let's say in P360, you'll have a web client, right, where you will see the data elements, where user will go check the data, enrich the data. So if you add one field in the data model, you need to enable it in the view. So how to do that, I'll be explaining that in this UI addition. REST APIs, as I said, right? You can definitely P360 supports REST API, but you have to create your own API in order to get or in order to post the data. Sometimes you need to create a custom job using SDK to trigger these REST APIs in order to automatically create or automatically get or put the data using REST API. So I'll be showing you all of this, how to use out of the box API, or I'll be touch base on the concept of automatically schedule the REST API URLs using SDK. Integration with other modules, that means MDM integration, DM integration, that means the media integration, ERP integration, and the demo flows. These all might involve customization. That means uh, the MDM and ERP integration, it depends on how MDM and other third party system asking for data to P360. So I'll be explaining you all the concepts, what are the ways to do it, and it might involve SDK customization, that means Java based customization, and then the comment framework, which is a very necessary piece of work in the SDK customization that generally is needed. I'll be touch base on it, how to create a particular comment framework and how to create one class, how it works, and where it is needed basically for validating or any triggering any or implementing any trigger based event. So that's all about all the course material. So I'll quickly explain one of the topics today, um, which is I chose this data model and the repository part. Okay, so the data model and repository is the key to enter into this P360 area, uh, and I believe you all are from either from database background or MDM background, ETL background. So data model is something which is a key to the MDM tool. So if you know data model, the 50% or the half of the work is already done. So I'll be explaining how the PIM data model works here. Okay, so I'll just open up a simple notepad to just give you a comparison between a database and a data PIM data model. So P360 data model has one particular layer which is called repository. So what is repository? So what is repository? So repository is basically a XML wrapper. So this is an XML element, an XML file. Maybe if you open the repository file, XML file, and how it looks like? It looks like basically something like if you just open this repository file, it will look like uh, let's say you are working with item, right? So it will have article, okay, or maybe entity, and inside that it will have article. Article means I'll just write it in the bracket, which means item. That means if you create one item, that will be mapped to the article node of this repository. How it converts to data model database, I will just explain it. Okay, so article item, inside that we will have field. Let's say field one. Okay, field one, item number. Okay, and the closing of field one. And this is a very simplified concept. Field two. Let's say this is manufacturer. So all these are data element. Okay, field two. Now item will have these all fields, and it can have a different set of fields which can be holding two or three or multiple values for one item, right? One item number. That means let's say item can have uh, two short description, one for English and one for French, or maybe 10 short descriptions, one for English, one for French, one for German, one for Hindi, and all. Okay, so for that, the repository will have something called uh, sub entity. Okay, so you will have an entity, inside that you have sub entity inside article only. Okay, so sub entity is article lang. So this is a sub entity name. So you can understand that this article lang will reside under the article and will contain fields which is basically language specific field. That means it is it can hold multiple values depending on the language. How? The key is the language, right? In subentity, we will have logical key. Logical key. Okay. So this is a logical key. Which is that? Lang. So lang is a logical key. And now after the logical key, we'll have field one, which is short description, and maybe two fields are there for your. So field 2 is long description. So understand how it is there in this particular repository model. So I'll close the subentity. I'll close the subentity. And then let's say there is no other field to be added. I'll close the entity as well. So article is also closed, maybe. It's just for a demo purpose. I mean, the XML structure might be wrong, but the concept is like this only. And then the entity. Sorry. So understand the structure. So there is an entity. Inside that we have another entity, another tag, which is article, which refers to an item. And inside item, we have multiple fields. Let's say item number, GT, manufacturer, uh, brand, sub brand. It can have numerous fields. Okay, Informatica P360 out of the box repository generally provides a lot of fields out of the box with the package itself. You don't have to customize anything, but when your project needs a additional field, you definitely want to create that in the repository. Now understand this article, there are multiple fields inside that. If there is a requirement, generally it is present, but you can also customize it. If there is a field which can have multiple values, that is there in the subentity layer or subentity tag, and then the article is closed. Generally what happens is, so this field 1, field 2, the subentity, there are multiple subentity. So article lang, and then article market. Okay, so here is lang, here it is country, and here fields are different, right? Which is country specific. Okay, so it can be different field. I am just writing field 1 and field 2 only for now. I'll be just comparing with the. Now there's an important thing that I'll be explaining, which is article market lang. What is the difference? There are two logical keys, so it can have combination of data. Okay, what are the combinations? So country is also there, and language is also there. Now this is the structure. This can be a structure of repository, and generally article in the P360 repository will have article, will have product 2G, which generally holds product. The fields are and the subentities will be different. Okay, sorry, product 2G, and there will be variant. So three type of elements you can keep in the out of the box repository. Now, how to compare it with the traditional database? So this is the structure you understand. And now if you just map it with the traditional database, basically there is a article table, article dbo.article, okay, dbo.article. So here the columns are like uh, item number, uh, GTIN, manufacturer. So these are this is the columns. Okay. Now article ID will be a column which will be the primary key of this particular table. Now inside that there is another table which is dbo.article-lang. Not inside this, but it's another table in the data schema. Okay, dbo.article-lang is very simplified structure. Okay, now article-lang also will have article ID, okay, as column, which is the foreign key, and then it will have language, which is basically the primary key. Okay, and after that it will have short description, long description. Okay, similarly we'll have dbo.article market lang. So it will also have article ID, and it will have language, it will have country and other columns. So language and country will both combine composite key to form composite key, and article ID again is a foreign key. So you understand that it's very similar to the concept of traditional database system, but the representation is different here in the repository. So when you are asked to create a field, you don't go to the database. Let's say you want to add one field which is called color. Your item is requiring to have one field called color, and in that color you want to have data like uh, red, white, black, blue, etc., etc. So you don't go to this database, and you don't go to this database. The touching the database is strictly prohibited in Product 360. You can't touch the database. You cannot create any column directly in the database. You cannot create a schema in the database. Yes, sometimes writing store proc to fetch data, to update data is needed, but that's a very advanced feature or advanced topic. It's performed only in case of very complex things like debugging of a very critical issues and all those things. Because of the referential integrity and all, there is strictly the recommendation from Informatica is do not touch the database, and you cannot even add one column and all. You can do some operations like select data or update data in some cases, but you cannot add any column. So let's say you want to create a field called article. You cannot go to this article table and create one column. That's not possible. Instead, you have to go to the repository, and by the way, the repository is not like this. I mean, it's basically the structure is like this, but there is a repository viewer. There is an application. I will show it to you how to use the repository viewer application. So that will open these all things in a very comfortable and interactive UI. Okay, so just you need to create, right click and create one field, or maybe copy from existing one and change the name to color, change the internal IDs. I'll tell you how to create a field. what are the internal IDs, what are the identifiers that you keep in mind, what are the data types, how to select the data types, all those things, and uh, you create that from the UI. Once you create, the color is basically you just replicate here. So once you do that, field 3, let's say you create a color, field 3, you rename it as color. So the color is added in the database system, and uh, basically what I showed you, that columns, something like that, you won't see a color here. Actually the data type, it's not, the columns are not present like this. It's a data type which is present here and which maps the column. That means the item number, basically there is a existing column name, which is item number, supplier AID, supplier AID, which refers the item number, something like that. You will choose a data type inside the field. In color, you will choose data type. There is a parameter, right? In the field, there is a parameter called data type, equal to, let's say, str 250. So if you choose str 250, there is already a column called str 250 in this database column, str250 inside dbo.article, which will right now map the color. So I'll show it, but ultimately it boils down to the fact that it stores the data in the database only, in SQL database only, whether it's Oracle or whether it's a SQL. Uh, but the representation from UI is different. We need to understand what are the logical keys, how to configure the identifier, the internal IDs, how to configure the entity IDs, entity numbers. These all things we will keep in mind. But I guess you have got a pretty clear idea about how it is there in the P360 repository, and how it roughly maps to a database. I know that it is very basic understanding, but I think you got an idea. So we'll discuss more on the topics as and when needed, as in the P360 data model topics. Until then, I think we are good here. Thank you, Sujit. I think I'm done with this topic.
Yeah, thank you very much. And it was a really a great session you delivered. Everything was explained very well and clear way. So I really appreciate for that. So let me point out few more pointers related to the training. Usually, some questions. Usually, all the student will ask. So related to the lab, how they are going to practice. So since this is a proprietary and licensed tool, so you cannot get as a open source and you can install and you can use it. You know that. So, but what we can do for hands-on, we can give you access of our system in front of our trainer in few of the session, and we can give you some assignment, and that assignment you can do in front of the trainer together in some of the batches. So by this way only, we can allow you to use our system in the full control way. Okay, because this is a proprietary application. And there is other way also to get the access directly from Informatica. So for that, we do have some comprehensive instruction which we will provide you, and you can follow that instruction. And if Informatica are having a tenant available and they are giving a trial for practices and all, so they will give to you. And if they don't have tenant available, they will not give to you. Yeah. So this is all to Informatica. We don't have any control on that. What we can do, we can give you the instruction how to get that access. Next point related to certification. So if you'd like to go for PIM certification, we will definitely guide you all the stages, all the steps, and our course content are mostly aligned with that. So in most of the cases, you will see that whatever course content we are covering, that is enough for cracking the certification exams, either it's a professional level or architect level. So we'll give you complete guidance for that. Yeah, apart from that, once we complete the training, so in some of the sessions, we conduct some dedicated sessions for resume preparation, where we can make ready for the job switch. So we'll help you for resume preparation, for interview preparation, and also we will explain one complete end-to-end project, real-time project, so that you can have an idea and you can explain that project in the interview also, and you will also have some confidence that how the real-time project looks like. Apart from that, we'll cover 200 plus real-time project scenarios in our entire training journey, which will give you enough confidence to understand the how PIM project looks like, what kind of scenario comes up, and how we solve it. So these all things we'll try to deliver. And for job support, so we do have a different training partner with us. We do have a partner like TCS, we do have partner like Cognizant, we do have multiple partner in US also. So within India, outside of India, we do have multiple hiring partners. Basically, we deploy our resources in their own their projects as per their need. So we'll push your profile to them also. We'll push their profile to them also for your interview preparations or for your interview scheduling and all. So whatever connections we have, we will push your profile to those all partners for your job switch and for your interview. If you get a job, then after that also we do give you a guidance for helping on your job and all. So don't get frustrated that I got a job, then how I will survive and all. So we'll give you some help on that part as well. So this is all about end-to-end training journey. We will start from very basic and we will be there with you for job support as well. And after a few months, after 3 months or 6 months, if you'd like to recap some of the sessions, so you don't need to pay again. We can allow you to recap the session after 3 months, after 6 months, after 1 year also. So few of the session, if you want to recap, you can let us know. If any batches will be running, we can allow you in that batch free of cost and you can recap it. So these are the kind of features we have as part of this training, and hope this will give you enough kind of insights to conclude you that you should enroll for this training or not. Apart from that, if you have other questions, you can definitely connect with our training advisors. They will try to answer your questions. Still, if it's a technical or something which he's not able to answer, so definitely we will collaborate with our trainer and we'll try to get it answered. Yeah. So we look forward to connect you in our regular classes and wish you all the best and we'll give all the best services, whatever we can do from our side. Yeah, so thanks everyone. Now I'm going to stop the recording.
Thank you.